What is going on, guys? Today we're trying out the new Trench Carbine. This is the second carbine to make it into the Recon class. It's another aggressive style weapon, and unlike the POA carbine, has an interesting full auto fire mode, making this the most aggressive Recon weapon to date. Its stats are pretty unique for being the second pistol carbine. All it really has, similar to the PO8, is a 360 rate of fire and its hip firing stats. But besides that, there's some noticeable differences. The Trench Carbine has a little bit less damage than the PO8. Stock, it is tied for accuracy, but if you max out the accuracy for the PO8, it will win in that category. But its control for the Trench Carbine is something that will really stand out for this gun. If you thought the most recent Madsen MG was stable, the Trench Carbine raises the bar. Now, it might not be all too noticeable when you compare it to the other Recon weapons like the bolt action rifles or the self-loading rifles. These guns have superb control, but really the Trench Carbine relates much more to the assault rifle weapons, and when you compare its control to any of the rifles there, you'll notice it substantially wins. What's also a really nice perk for this gun is its ammunition. It has a 41 round magazine, making it not only a larger magazine than the PO8, but larger than any of the assault rifles or semi-assault rifles. This extra magazine helps make up for the lack of damage for this gun, so if you're not spamming shots non-stop with this weapon, you're not using this gun to its full potential. Now, I had briefly mentioned at the beginning that this has an interesting full auto fire mode. It doesn't come with the gun stock, but you have to use the select fire trigger in the specializations to unlock this full auto mode. With this fire mode equipped, it's like using an automatic rifle, but with an incredible amount of control and a magazine size that will literally let you continuously lay down shots on enemy players. I mean, there is really no rifle in the game that can fire this fast with this amount of precision over and over again. It really makes it not just a unique weapon for the Recon class, but a unique weapon to Battlefield 5. And where the PO8 felt at times it kind of struggled, I think this gun will have a bit more promise to it. When it comes to the rest of the specializations, I chose the quick aim since playing aggressive with this gun is possible. I then of course wanted the full auto fire mode, so I had to choose these slings and swivels. And then finally I chose the custom stock, which improves accuracy while moving. Moving its accuracy stats up, not as far up as the PO8 with all of its specializations equipped, but still pretty respectable for a gun. You could easily jump back and forth between the full auto and single fire modes depending on how precise you want your shots to be. You just got to remember the damage on this gun isn't that oppressive, so if you're not firing this gun rapidly and probably getting a headshot or two, you may find yourself shooting endlessly trying to just finish off one player. It is pretty impressive to see just how stable this gun fires, especially in its full auto mode. And to be honest, I started to rarely switch back to the single fire modes unless I had situations where I really wanted to conserve ammo and wanted to make sure I absolutely got headshots on an enemy player. And even then, I mean, you really don't have to do that because, again, the magazine size for this gun is really impressive. The range on this gun, I did not find all too impressive, but again, if you're using this gun, it's not meant to be played like a sniper rifle. So if you're looking for more range type of gameplay, you might as well go back and use these sniper rifles that are there for the Recon class. This gun, however, is meant to be played much more aggressive. Its 360 rate of fire does limit you on how aggressive you can play. It's still on the lower end of its rate of fire compared to the other, let's say, assault rifles in the game, but if you're playing more of the mid-range battles, you'll probably compete pretty well. You still, of course, have the option to max out hip firing with its specializations if you want. The hip firing stock, though, isn't all too bad. I mean, it is better than the semi-automatic rifles hip firing, but it's the full auto mode that you'll have to sacrifice. So even if you get the extra hip firing, you have to run around tap firing your trigger all the time. Plus, like I was saying, the full auto makes this gun unique, especially for the Recon class, so that's something you might not want to pass up on. When it came to using scopes, I was jumping back and forth between the 2-time and the 1.25. I was enjoying the 2-time a little bit more. The control does allow you to aim down sights with a scope and not feel like it's just bouncing up and down out of control. So that is nice. You do have to be careful, though, if you are using a scope weapon, because you can't play as aggressive. So if you do want to play a little bit more aggressive, you might want to stick to the 1.25 or the iron sights. Overall, though, this is a pretty impressive gun. The combination of its control, magazine size, and its full auto-fire mode allows you to experience a whole new way to play not seen in Battlefield 5 yet, so for me, that is definitely a plus. Its damage is questionable, but like I said, if you're laying down shots non-stop with this gun and taking advantage of the precision, it makes up for whatever damage you lose. It's very similar to how the Madsen was like, where it had a very low damage output, but its control made up for that as well. So pretty interesting gun overall in my opinion, but let me know what you guys think about the Trench Carbine in the comments down below. But that is it for you guys today. Again, I always appreciate you guys being here. I am Livin'. I'll catch you guys again later.